Alright folks, we're out for another night, and right at the start of our walk we've got a bamboo pit viper, and we had a little bit of a fun. There was a group of ladies walking by for an evening walk. We're actually right next to a very well paved path here, so you'll see a lot of walkers early in the evening, and they were walking just up to where this viper was, and I asked them if they wanted to play a game called Spot the Viper, and one of them actually pointed out quite quickly, which is great, but this one's set up right on the side of a sidewalk, hoping for a gecko to walk by, so a little bit precarious spot, but luckily the road doesn't have cars on it, so folks won't be on the sidewalk as much, they'll be in the road, so I think we'll be able to leave this one here. And in this case, it's a subadult female. You can tell because there's no indicative white stripe that would indicate that it's a male on the upper lip or down the sides. And this one's pretty calmly sitting out here, waiting for a meal to pop by. So I don't want to agitate her and get her to move around for you. It looks a bit like a statue now, but we've seen a lot of these on the vlog, so if you're interested in seeing what they look like when they're moving or doing other things, you can check out some of the other videos. Maybe I'll tag one here. But good start to the walk, really, literally only a few minutes in, so hopefully this is a sign of things to come. We'll check back in when we get the next one. Alright folks, you're going to struggle to hear me, but we've got our second snake of the night, and this time it is a tiny little Anderson stream snake just slipping away down there. Oh, there goes his tail. Anyhow, there he is right down the bottom. There we go. Just about to go into the water there. You can see him sliding in now, and off he goes. All right, snake number 2. And keep it moving, see if we can get number 3. All right, we've got another Anderson stream snake. See if I can get us a little better focus. Gonna be tough to focus here, but another little Anderson stream snake in a gutter right by my feet here. About 2-inch deep gutter, but we're right by some streams, so not too shocking to see one there. Alright, we will keep it moving, see if we can come up with something else. Alright, we've got our next snake of the night, and it's another bamboo pit viper. And we are in an area where these are quite common, so I expect we're going to find quite a lot more of these. And this one's just got a beautiful in situ here, up on these wet rocks with the water flowing down beside them, and really classic pose. And this is another subadult female, maybe actually edging towards adult. It's a pretty good size, but very cool find. Like I said, I expect to see a lot more of these as we keep walking, so be prepared, but can't really complain. Fantastic little snake. Okay, we have our next snake of the evening, and as you can see here, it is a bamboo pit viper, and this time it's a juvenile, I would argue almost a neonate, and it looks like a male from the white stripe that we can see down the side there. It's a little bit in the grass, so kind of hard to see, but also checking out its tail there, I was noticing from above that it's actually pretty dark in coloration on the top. We're seeing the bottom side there and the subcaudal scales, but on top it's like a purplish black color, which is pretty interesting. That seems to be something characteristic of the bamboo pit vipers here in Hong Kong. That's Trimerosaurus albolabris here in Hong Kong. So, pretty cool little snake. We actually just also missed a common wolf snake on the path. It was a little bit too quick and slithered off, but pretty cool to find this one. And we're going to keep it going, see how many more we can get before we're out. Alright folks, we're out for another night, and we've got our first snake of the evening. And this time it's a mountain water snake, Sinonatrix pericarinata. We've seen lots of these on the vlog, so I won't spend too much time, but I'll link some more videos here. And there you go. We'll call this an adult, / maybe a little bit subadult, but pretty much fully matured, mature coloration. And Typical of Cynonatrix, it's roosting high up above some flowing water. We'll keep it going, we'll check back in with the next one. Okay, next snake, another Cynonatrix. Won't stick on this one too long. We're going to keep walking. We're right at the start of the walk, so good sign for what we may find later. All right, not 100 yards down the way and up on a wall here, we've got a Taiwan kukri. Pretty standard coloration and size. So we're not going to, again, spend too much time on this. We've seen a lot of these lately, but cool find. Lots of snakes out. And check back in with the next one. All right, folks, we've got our next snake, and it's a decent-sized female bamboo pit viper. And looking a little bit the worse for wear, maybe recently laid or gave birth and probably needs a meal or two. But we're going to get a few photos. We're with a group of folks here tonight, so I think everybody's going to want some decent shots of this one. And then we'll get back at it. All right, we've got our next snake. It's a many-banded krait. We've seen a lot of these in recent videos. This is a subadult by way of the size, as far as I can tell. And it's on the hunt, so we're going to keep going, see if we can come up with something else. All right, we've got our next snake of the evening. It's a super tiny juvenile mock viper and some pretty cool coloration, a little bit of a two-tone head and body. Kind of grayish blue with some spots. And I'll show you a reference for size. There's my fingertip, and there's the mock. They're very cool, so we're definitely hot into baby season here, and hopefully there's a lot more for us tonight before we finish. We've also got one more baby that I'll show you in just a second, actually right next to each other here, so this is a very cool stop. All right, here is snake number 2, and we've got a fellow herper being a hand model for us. And this is a super tiny juvenile white-spotted slug snake. This is definitely a newly born snake. Super, super tiny. Very, very cool. We've seen these as adults many times on the vlog, but never one this small. A very, very cool find. And we're going to keep moving. It looks like it's going to be a busy night for us. Alright folks, we've got our next snake. We've actually had a bunch in between, but a lot of them have slithered away. And here we have another mock viper. This is a orange body with a yellow neck on this wall right next to a stream. And yeah, pretty good example of the species. So go ahead and let this one get about its business of going to bed and see if we can find some more. All right, folks, we've got our next snake. It's another mock viper, and this one had fallen down into a gutter, and we're just helping it out. I'm handling it very gently because they are mildly venomous. You don't want to get a bite from them, but in order to get it out safely, I have to do this. So I'm gonna let it go pretty quick. I don't want to take a bite, but nice big fat mock viper. This is about as big as they get, and pretty standard coloration as well. Nice coffee brown with orange flecks underneath the upper ventrals. Very cool snake, one of my favorites. Okay everyone, we've actually got the tiny little mock that we found before. It was not in a great place, so we've moved it to a spot where it's going to do a lot better, but this is about as tiny as you'll ever see them. And this one's really cool. It's actually got a two-tone head and some really beautiful markings down the body there that you can see here. And I wanted to stop and talk for just a second about this species. As I mentioned, we've seen them on the vlog before, but they're a pretty interesting snake. They're actually known to be opportunistically ophiophagous, so they will eat other snakes if they get the chance. They're rear fang venomous, though I found the position of the fangs actually is a little bit forward in the mouth than a lot of other rear fang venomous snakes here in Hong Kong. And the venom's actually pretty quick acting. It feels a little bit like an itchy mosquito bite. A little bit like a bee sting at first and then an itchy mosquito bite thereafter. little bit of localized swelling and sometimes some tingling, and then it kind of fades away. But pretty effective immediately in terms of the pain and the itching. And then if you ever watch them predate a gecko, it actually has a pretty extreme effect on the geckos and can kill them pretty quickly. And yeah, these are a highly variable species as well. You can find them in these kind of more earth tone colors. You saw earlier in the video the one that was a little bit more bright orange with the yellow ventrals. They also come in tan colors, black colors, lighter orange colors, red colors. The ventrals always have some form of bright coloration, whether it's little orange flecking on the darker variants like this, or whether it's entirely cream or white or yellow ventrals like we see on some of the other colors. So, pretty interesting species. They also get their name from their behaviors. Mock viper, they really do behave a lot like vipers when defensive. They'll S up, they'll do a lot of false strikes and real strikes. They'll actually even leap a little bit while attacking, and when they're trying to flee as well. But super interesting. Well, there he goes, popping up a little bit. Yeah, super interesting species. Really great to be able to see a juvie, really what looks to be even more like a neonate. And super happy we could help this one out. Oh, down he goes. There you go, you can see him messing up, bobbing the head side to side. Typical mock viper behavior. Anyways, we're going to let this one go now. And we're on our walk out, so most likely this will close us out for the night. Otherwise, we'll pop back on and show you what we find. Alright, we're on the walk out, and my buddy just found this baby large spotted cat snake who is striking at just about everything that comes close or not close. This is a very typical behavior for the species. They do a lot of false strikes. They'll bite for real as well. But a lot of false strikes. They S up like this. They'll flatten their heads out, try and look a bit more viperish. And these are actually a very effective Batesian mimic against a local species of viper here, the pointed scale viper, the Protobothrops mucrosquamatus, also known as Taiwan habu or habus. And yeah, this is a very effective mimic for that. But super tiny little baby. It is definitely full swing in baby season here, which is great. And look at that, very cool little threat display from this baby boiga. Alright, I think this probably will be the last one, but who knows, a very snaky night. So if we find anything else, we'll check back in.